In the vast and dynamic landscape of Korean action cinema, countless films vie for attention, yet few leave the kind of searing, visceral impact as The Killer, A Girl Who Deserves to Die. This isn't just another high-octane thriller. It's a raw, emotionally charged descent into vengeance, morality, and the inescapable pull of violence. What begins as a quiet life for a retired assassin quickly spirals into a blood-soaked crusade, forcing him to confront the demons he thought he'd left behind. At its core, The Killer is more than just expertly choreographed fight scenes and relentless action, though it delivers those in spades. It's a story of reluctant redemption, where a man who swore off killing finds himself dragged back into the darkness, this time not for profit, but for justice. When he takes on the role of an unlikely protector for a young girl ensnared in the clutches of a brutal trafficking ring, his mission becomes personal. What follows is a relentless, almost operatic symphony of violence, as he dismantles the criminal underworld piece by bloody piece. This film doesn't just entertain, it lingers. It forces the audience to grapple with questions of morality, sacrifice, and the cost of vengeance. Can a man truly escape his past, or is violence an inescapable part of his nature? With its gripping narrative, powerhouse performances, and unflinching brutality, The Killer, A Girl Who Deserves to Die cements itself as a modern classic in the genre. So preparing yourself for this breakdown will take you deep into the heart of the chaos, the emotion, and the sheer cinematic force of The Killer. Strap in, because once it starts, there's no turning back. Our story opens with Kong, a man who moves through life with deliberate calm, his presence as unremarkable as a shadow at dusk. To the outside world, he is nothing more than a quiet, middle-aged husband, devoted to his wife and the slow, predictable rhythm of retirement. But beneath that ordinary facade lies a past etched in blood and silence. Kong was once a hitman, a ghost who carried out death with cold precision. Now, he has left that life behind, trading silenced pistols for grocery runs and quiet evenings at home. Yet peace, no matter how hard won, is a fragile thing. When his wife leaves for a tropical vacation with her best friend, she asks Kong for a single, simple favor: watch over Yoon-ji, the friend's sharp-tongued teenage daughter, for just a few days. How hard could it be? He's handled far worse. But what starts as a mundane babysitting job spirals into chaos when Yoon-ji, reckless, rebellious, and utterly unpredictable, drags him into a mess he never saw coming. Old instincts flare to life as danger closes in, and Kong realizes too late that the past doesn't stay buried. Some favors, it turns out, come with a body count. Yoon-ji might seem like any other teenager, moody, rebellious, and full of restless energy, but beneath that tough exterior lies a deep vulnerability. She doesn't realize just how fragile she is until the night she's snatched off the streets, taken by a ruthless human trafficking ring that profits from selling girls like her into a world of exploitation, drugs, and violence. One wrong turn, one moment of hesitation, and her life is ripped away. When Kong discovers she's gone, something primal stirs within him. The carefully constructed walls holding back his darkest instincts begin to crack. The killer he had tried so hard to suppress, the one he buried beneath layers of control, awakens with a vengeance. This isn't just about finding Yoon-ji anymore. It's about unleashing the monster he once was to destroy those who took her. And this time, he won't stop until every last one of them is dead. This isn't John Wick. Kong isn't driven by revenge. He's after something far colder, far more relentless: justice. But justice in this city is a ghost, whispered about in back alleys and abandoned lots, always just out of reach. The police? Bought and paid for, their badges tarnished by the grease of dirty money. The system? A rusted machine, grinding the weak into dust while the powerful walk away untouched. Kong knows better than to wait for a miracle. He's seen how the world works, how it breaks people, and he refuses to be another casualty. So he reaches for the tools he swore he'd never use again. The weight of a gun feels familiar in his hand. the edge of a knife sharp as a promise. His fists remember the old rhythms, the brutal language of violence he thought he'd forgotten. And then he hunts. He moves through the city's underbelly like a storm, leaving wreckage in his wake. Bones snap under his knuckles. Teeth scatter across blood-slick floors. Men who thought themselves untouchable wake up in hospital beds, if they wake up at all. And the questions linger, hanging thick in the air. Who was that masked man? Why did he come for us? But no one dares answer, because Kong isn't just sending a message, he's rewriting the rules. As Kong delves deeper into his investigation, the shadows around him grow darker and more impenetrable. Each new lead reveals a web of corruption that stretches far beyond what he initially imagined. Powerful businessmen, high-ranking police officials, and even respected judges are all entangled in the trafficking ring, shielding it from justice. Undeterred, Kong methodically begins stripping away the layers of deception, exposing one complicit figure after another. The deeper he goes, the more dangerous the game becomes, but he refuses to back down. At the heart of this sinister network lies a figure shrouded in mystery, a woman known only as Pig Mama. She operates with the cold precision of a cartel boss, commanding her empire with calculated brutality. No one crosses her and lives to tell the tale. Her reputation for ruthlessness is well-earned. But Kong is no ordinary adversary. He matches her ferocity with his own relentless determination, driven by a hunger for justice that borders on obsession. The closer he gets to the truth, the clearer it becomes. This is a fight only one of them will walk away from. When it comes to action, this film doesn't just go through the motions, it perfects them. Every sequence is meticulously crafted, blending raw intensity with breathtaking precision. The hallway shootouts are a masterclass in tension, with bullets flying and bodies dropping in chaotic yet perfectly timed rhythm. Then there are the martial arts scenes, where combatants trade bone-crushing blows in claustrophobic corridors, turning tight spaces into deadly battlegrounds. The choreography is nothing short of razor-sharp, each movement flowing seamlessly into the next with a brutal elegance. A huge part of this authenticity comes from Hyuk's dedication as Kong. He performs most of his own stunts, and the effort is palpable. You don't just watch the fights, you feel them, the impact of every punch, the deafening echo of every gunshot, even the weight of every drop of sweat. This isn't mindless violence. It's a brutal ballet where destruction becomes art, and every strike carries both consequence and beauty. As Kong carves his bloody path through the syndicate, we're forced to confront the same haunting question that consumes him. Who truly deserves to die? The men he hunts down aren't merely criminals. They're predators, monsters who have bathed in the suffering of the innocent. Yet with every life he takes, something inside him fractures. The weight of each kill drags him deeper into darkness, eroding the remnants of his humanity. Fragments of his past surge to the surface, ghosts of those he's slain before, their faces blurring with the ones he executes now. Is this relentless vengeance really about saving Yoon-ji, or is it a desperate attempt to outrun his own guilt? Every bullet, every drop of blood spilled, feels like both punishment and absolution. The line between justice and damnation thins, and Kong is no longer sure which side he's on. The deeper he goes, the more he wonders. When the last monster falls, what will be left of him? While Kong wages his fierce battle on the outside, Yoon-ji fights her own war from the shadows of captivity. Trapped in a nightmarish underground facility, she endures each day surrounded by despair, forced to witness the other imprisoned girls being dragged away one by one and never to be seen again. The air is thick with fear, and the walls seem to close in tighter with every passing hour. Yet, despite the crushing weight of hopelessness, Yoon-ji refuses to surrender. Her unshakable faith in Kong burns like a lone flame in the darkness, the only thing keeping her alive. And deep down, she knows he won't abandon her. Because even in this hell, she can feel it. He's coming for her. Kong hunts Pig Mama down to her lair, a hidden den of filth and violence where she thinks she's untouchable. What unfolds isn't just a raid, it's an execution. The air is thick with gun smoke and the screams of her men as Kong cuts through them like a shadow given teeth. Every shot is precise, every movement calculated. He doesn't waste bullets, doesn't waste time. They fall before they even see him, their bodies hitting the ground before their brains register the threat. And then, there she is, Pig Mama, cornered, her bravado crumbling into raw, desperate fear. There are no grand speeches, no last-minute deals. She pleads, her voice trembling, bargaining with a man who has no interest in mercy. The choice was hers long ago, back when she thought she could play this game without consequences. Now, in the dim glow of flickering lights, with the scent of blood heavy in the air, she learns the hard way. Some debts can only be paid in blood. Kong doesn't hesitate. The gunshot is deafening. Then silence. Justice, in his world, is final. The killer, a girl who deserves to die, is far more than just a sleek, high-octane action flick. It's a profound exploration of morality, vengeance, and the heavy toll of justice in a broken world. At its core, the film follows Kong, a man desperate to leave his violent past behind, only to be dragged back into the darkness when innocence is threatened and the system fails. His transformation into a reluctant avenger forces the audience to question, how far is too far when fighting evil? Can someone truly redeem themselves if the only way to protect others is to become the very thing they hate? The movie masterfully balances brutal, well-choreographed action with deep emotional weight, making every fight scene feel like a battle for Kang's soul. The cinematography amplifies the tension, contrasting serene moments of reflection with explosive, visceral violence. It's a story that lingers, challenging viewers to consider who the real monsters are, the ones who commit atrocities or those who must wield brutality to stop them. If you're a fan of thought-provoking thrillers that don't shy away from hard questions, this underrated gem deserves a spot at the top of your watch list. It's a gripping, adrenaline-fueled experience that will leave you unsettled long after the credits roll. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth analyses of films that leave a lasting impact. Thanks for watching. Now go experience The Killer for yourself. You won't forget it.